Hello, friends. This is Jack McNiel Jr. with the Kempner Church of Christ. We've been looking at the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 5 through chapter 7, where Jesus lays out a better way to serve God and to worship Him. In the section that we're looking at right now, that we've been in for a while, is found beginning in chapter 5, verse 20, goes all the way to chapter 5, verse 48. I call this section a better righteousness. Because Jesus says, "For unless your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven." And so he says, he's emphasizing that our righteousness must not stop where the righteousness of the Pharisees stops, which was just at the outward appearance, the outward things, but we're to go beyond that, to go further than that. Our righteousness needs to exceed the mere external righteousness, and it needs to address the matters of the heart. And so our righteousness must come from the heart, and the outward actions reflect what is on the inside, rather than hide what is on the inside, which is what it did with the scribes and Pharisees, who are compared to whited sepulchres with dead men's bones on the inside. And so our righteousness must be better in quality and go beyond the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. And so we're in verse 31 and verse 32 of Matthew chapter 5. Again, Jesus, 5 times in this chapter, he says, "You've heard it said," or "it has been said, but I say unto you." And each time he's giving a better, more proper interpretation of what was said. And so in verse 31, he says, "It hath been said, whosoever shall put away his wife, let him give her a writing of divorcement." And now that's a statement found in Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 1, in which it was allowed because of the hardness of men's heart. We'll get to that in a moment. "But I say unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery, and whosoever shall marry her that is divorced committeth adultery." And so, the implication here found from what is written in Deuteronomy 24, verses 1 through 4, was that a man could divorce his wife for any reason at all and be guiltless because he gave her a writing of divorcement. Jesus, though, his better interpretation is that whosoever putteth away his wife, saving for the cause of fornication, causeth her to commit adultery, and whosoever she remarries also would be guilty of adultery. Jesus further elaborates on this on another occasion in Matthew chapter 19. There, we're going to pick it up in verse 3. It says, "The Pharisees came unto him, tempting him, saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder. They say unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away?" Again, referring to Deuteronomy 24, verses 1 through 4. "He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives." And so because of the hardness of men's heart, because of what they were already doing, they were putting away their wives already for whatever reason. Now, God allowed a divorcement to be given so that the wife could be taken care of. She had no other way to take care of herself except to be married and have a husband. And so, for the hardness of your hearts, God suffered it. But he says from the beginning it was not so. So he's not referring back to the law of Moses. He's going back to before the law of Moses, from the very beginning. And so he says, "And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another, committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her which is put away, doth commit adultery." And so Jesus makes it very clear from the beginning, it was one man for one woman for life, and there was no divorce for just any reason. In fact, there was no divorce at all at that time. Now, later, or Jesus here, he gives the one exception whereby one can divorce their wife, or a wife divorce her husband, and be able to remarry, is that if the spouse committed adultery and broke the marriage bond in that way, then they were free to remarry. But one who's put away, they cannot remarry again with God's approval. And if one divorces his wife for any reason other than that and marries another, he can't do so again with God's approval. Now, you may find that to be a difficult thing to say or to grasp, especially when you look at our society today, but it is what Jesus said. And, we need to follow Jesus. Jesus made it very clear, if you love me, John 14:15, keep my commandments. And so we must have a better fidelity than that of the world, than that of the scribes and the Pharisees, and have a true commitment of one man and one woman for life. Have a great day.